Socrates said, let him who would move the world first move himself. We're in a season of electioneering. Persons are putting themselves out there for leadership. Persons make table topics presentation, colleges presentation, and take cheap shots of trying to get in the campaign. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, leadership in Toastmasters is important. I'm here this evening to challenge you to consider what this whole leadership thing is about. Socrates also indicated that the individual leads in order that those who are led can develop their potential as human beings and therefore prosper. Mr. Chairman.
Oh.
Yes. So who are effective leaders? An effective leader is an individual who provides clear direction. The leader should have a vision, should be able to communicate that effectively to those who he seeks to lead. There should be a mission, there should be clear goals, and there should be a collective approach to whatsoever it is that he's seeking to achieve. The next thing an effective leader needs to do is to foster collaboration. Too many times we see leaders who are running way ahead of those who we seek to lead, or running with a particular crowd. In the Bahamas, they refer to them as cliques. And so you have this clique going in this way, and that clique going in that way. 1600 is not immune from that. But at the end of the day, what a leader needs to recognize is that his job is to pull people together, to collaborate, to make sure that the objective of the organization is met. And the third one is motivate achievement. Everything that we do in life is predicated on achieving great things. Everything that we do here in 1600 ought to be predicated on achievement. The effective leader causes the individual to achieve more than he thought he could have in the first instance. And so, as you contemplate running for whatever leadership position, or as you finish your term, always remember that your job is to motivate persons to go farther than they think they could have, to run faster, to fly higher. This is the role of effective leader. If you're not doing those three things, you're not an effective leader. If you can't provide a very clear vision, if you can't pull people together, and if you can't motivate significant achievement, you're not being effective. So let's look at some other things around it. Every great achievement is corporate. What do I mean by that? No one man can achieve anything of significance. And even if he does, I'll give you a quick example. Let's say Toastmaster Troy in the back there, who's big, strong, and running for VP. He has the ability to lift without assistant 500 pounds.
Oh.
He can do that.
Easy.
He can do that. And you have your lowly presenter right here. I can simply lift 1 pound, only that. But together, Troy and I can do 501, and he cannot do 501. The point here is that no matter how little I bring to the game, I bring something.
Yeah.
And the effective leader recognizes that and encourage participation. I like to tell persons that I'm not the smartest person in the room, but if I do leave, the room is a little bit dumb.
Oh.
It doesn't matter.
I like that.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is that I bring. I bring just a little bit more. Let's see what the other things are. Facilitate communication. Have you ever been in an organization where people don't really talk to each other?
Yep.
If you don't communicate, you can't trust. If you don't trust, you can't have relationship. Relationship is the driver of influence.
Yes.
If you're not an influencer, you can't be a leader. It's plain and simple as that. So, the great leaders facilitate communication. The next item is they facilitate problem solving. The purpose we are here, every single one of us, the reason we are here is to provide solutions. We're not here simply to say there's a problem, like most of us do. We have become very skilled, very excellent, above and beyond in our ability to point out the problem. What we are not very careful of is how to solve them. And so Toastmasters International proposed the idea that we as leaders, anybody in 1600 is a leader. Everybody in 1600 is a leader. So we are supposed to be problem solvers. And those who put themselves on the forefront should be facilitating this in a significant way. This is a very important one. The Toastmaster who have not yet made a mistake in this program is not doing anything. The only way you're going to grow is if you're going to be willing to make mistakes. Therefore, if the leader is not willing or capable or have the tolerance to deal with your mistakes, he can't lead you. He can't move you forward. They're going to push you in the back. You're going to say, that's Kramer again. Jeez. What are we going to do with them? Not recognizing the fact that through the process of making mistakes, Kramer is growing. He's becoming a better Toastmaster. So a leader needs to be able to do that. The leader must help his members grow. My philosophy is simply this, and this is what Toastmasters International is proposing. If you make the argument that you have grown as the president, I'm the best president, or I'm the best VP, or I'm the best treasurer, but when you look around, nobody on your executive is growing, or nobody in your committee is growing, it's not right. Something is wrong. Because as a leader, you can only grow as far and as high as those who you lead. You stand on their shoulders. You do not move, they move you.
What?
And so you have to help your team members grow. Let's see what we have next. Persuade. The art of persuasion. We in 1600 like to compel persons to be great by sometimes giving them the rough side of the treatment. But we also are very, very good at being the first to pick them up back right after that. The ability to persuade is the hallmark of a great leader. Somebody called me today and said, are you going to get that projector? I really didn't want to drive up the road. But they were persuasive. Many things that you're asked to do, sometimes you don't want to do it. But depending on who called you, I provided a presentation. I was told I was to do a speech today. And I put together this presentation. This was my speech. Toastmaster Langley sent a couple of emails, a couple of voicemail, and sent me a number to call him. And he was most persuasive that this program is the one to be presented tonight because it needs to be presented each month, and we have to make up for all the months that we have missed. And so, between 5 o'clock and now, I have been preparing to make this speech because of his great persuasion.
It's up, dog.
So let's talk at some of the benefits of teamwork. Improve the quality of work life. In Toastmasters, it's not quite work life, but you have to be able to have leaders who are going to help you to improve that balance. You have to have persons who are going to help you to move forward. So you're not only, for example, doing your speeches, but you're participating in the leadership track. You're not only spending a lot of time here, but sooner or later you decide to put yourself up for one of the great positions which are on offer. You not only come in each night, but you do like Toastmasters Strong. You decide to be in the international competition, and you're going to win it. Because you looked around and you realize that you can follow in the footsteps of the great Toastmaster Ryan, and you intend to improve it. And so, improving the quality of the experience here is what leadership is about. We're supposed to facilitate that. The other one is increased productivity. Leaders drive productivity, and they drive that through teamwork. When we work together, it gets easier and it gets better. The 501 pound that we have to lift, if I call in Toastmaster Winder, I just have to give half a pound. It gets so much easier. And this is what we're saying, we are more productive. And if everybody in the club gives a pound, then all of a sudden, the great struggle that was Toastmaster Troy, or Toastmaster Kramer, or Toastmaster Anson, suddenly becomes that much easier. Let's look at some other benefits. Reduce costs.
Boy, we're done.
Reducing costs. Sometimes we don't necessarily see the cost of operating the club. But when you pay the dues, the more of us that we have, and the more of us that pays our dues, reduce the cost on one or two other persons. If we happen to be at Trudy's or Curlit's, and you decide to contribute to the refreshment, it reduces the cost in an individual. And so we have to be reminded of the fact that through teamwork, we can achieve so much more. It's always teamwork that drives the effectiveness of the organization. You're not only here to come and sit down and listen. You're here for a purpose. You have value to be given. And so the leaders should recognize that. Let's look what else we have. Enhance product or service quality. That's what Toastmaster International called it. We're going to say we enhance the you're sleeping on it. In 1600, we enhance the brand. If you are not giving your half pound or your quarter pound or your 500, the 1600 brand is worse off for it. So you need to come here every night. You need to put on your tie. You need to look elegant, but you need to turn up to work. You have to challenge the leadership. You have to contribute. When asked a question, you need to answer it to the best of your ability. Sometimes, for example, table topics, we answer them any old out. Flippantly. Every time you stand, you should pretend you are at the international competition, answering or responding. It is important to the brand. Let's see if we have anything else of theirs to share. We improve the organization, we improve the company quality that I have touched on before. So let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up very quickly. In conclusion, U.S. Senator Sam Ervin said, a person who is worthy of being leader wants power not for self, not for himself, but in order to be of service. I want to say to you, I've thrown my cap in the ring. I'm not going to campaign. I just want to say to all the persons who are running for leadership, I wish you all the best. I wish you great things. But let me warn you, and I was empowered to say this. If you're not here to serve, pull your cap up.
No.
If you're not here to serve, pull your cap up. For this simple reason. For this simple reason. You're not in this club to rule or lead anybody. You're here to move yourself. You're here to grow and add value. The only way you can grow and add value is if you first do that through giving your gifts. The only way you can give your gifts is if you serve. By serving and doing it effectively, you create influence. And influence, as Miles Monroe and John Maxwell says, is leadership. How else can you be an effective leader unless you decide to be a servant? Fellow Toastmasters and guests, if you decide to lead, start by serving.
Say 16!